Hello everyone, my name is Queen Blessing, popularly known as Black Queen. I'm a Nollywood actress and a filmmaker. I'm the president and founder of Queen Blessing Foundation and the vice president of Association of Movie Producers Nigeria. This morning, I've finally been able to summon courage to talk about the Doing College and the saga. The very first day I saw the video of that young boy, Sylvester, I was shocked. In fact, I've been traumatized, just to put it like that. I think maybe because I have a son who is just a little bit older than him. My son is 15 and he's also in a boarding school. So when I saw that picture, my head just went off. Like, how? Why? Why? I don't even know how to begin to explain how pained I have been. And then I kept summoning courage to read the news, to see the videos. And then I saw a video where the boy, I think the mother and somebody else was trying for the boy to walk, and they were saying walk, and he was saying, I can't walk, I'm serious, I can't walk, I'm serious, and they were still forcing him to walk. At that point, I just said to myself, you pick your child from school. In that terrible condition, the first place you should take your child to is the hospital. And then I saw another video where he was lying on the bed and maybe the mom was pressing his leg and she was praying and saying it will never be well with those children that did this to the boy, that he will be well and everything. It's all good to call on God Almighty. But first of all, we must understand that we are the God in the lives of our children. We are the God that God has placed in the life of our children. And so when things happen to our kids, we must first of all play God. That is the mission, that is the assignment from God Almighty himself before we start calling the God above. So for me, I just felt that if they had taken that child to the hospital quickly, immediately it happened, maybe the story would have been different. That is number one. And that's where I'm faulting the parents. And I also saw a video where they were saying that the boy had said he wasn't going back to that school. Now, when your child already tells you, I am not going back to that school, and you ask, what's the reason? Did you even ask what's the reason? And if you ask what's the reason and he told you the reason, couldn't you have fought for either the reason to be changed or take him to another school? So you didn't trust your child enough to understand and agree that the school wasn't good enough for him anymore. And if the child didn't tell you why he was saying he wasn't going back to school, it's because you failed. You should be your child's best friend. Your child should be able to tell you anything and be able to understand that you can actually stand in for he or she. For instance, from very little, I taught my son, it is not okay for anybody to mistreat you, not even me. It is not okay for anybody to bully you. And so if I'm not around and the maid bullies you, even if they tell you if I go to work tomorrow they are going to deal with you, you must tell me. So no matter what you do to my son will tell me. Even in this school that he is right now. And I want to thank God for this school, because right now what they do, if you bully any child, they expel you immediately. There is nothing like parents who come and beg. Immediately you bully any child in Navy Secondary School, you are expelled. That's exactly what they're doing. And so when these children know that there will be penalties, there will be grave consequences, they will stop bullying. They have been bullied. Bully is everywhere. Even when I went to a boarding school, Government Girls College, Bida, there was bully. But during our time, what is the bully? Senior will just not like your face and say, go and fetch water, and you'll be fetching water the whole time. Senior can just tell you, go and cut grass. You'll be cutting grass, so the grass no go finish. So all those things, so senior can just come and tell you, go and wash my undies. You'll be washing their panties and all of that. That was the bully we had those days. And it wasn't as much as it. I mean, what kind of children are we even training anyway? How can, if we as parents can train children that can be monstrous enough to beat their fellow colleague in school that way, and not stop in the beating, not pour a substance in that child's mouth that can eat up that child's mouth like that. Look at the way that mouth was eating, as if it was burnt by acid. Now tell me, a child tells you, oh, they gave me something to drink, I don't know what it is. And you can see that the mouth was already reacting, being peeled off, being roasted like it was acid. How do you think that the stomach was feeling at that time? The intestine were busy being eaten up and rotting by that same substance that is eating the mouth up. And you didn't take him to, and the school. In fact, I'm so happy that the Lagos State governor has actually closed down that school indefinite until this matter is resolved. That is the best step he could have taken. How dare you? A child had that issue. You didn't, according to the story, the child was not seen for 2 days. So a child can be in your school and you don't see that child for 2 days, you don't look for the child, and you call yourself a responsible school, and the child finally surfaces. Instead of you to take the child to a proper hospital to be treated, you keep him there. You didn't call the parent, you didn't do nothing until the parent called and went to pick their child, and then you are lying. Now I understand that there are bad children everywhere. See, there is no how a school will train or shape your child. You as a parent must do the foundation of that child. The school builds on the foundation that is already being done from home. Like I always say, we are the first ambassadors of our children. We are the first role models. It's whatever we do that they copy. Now a child is already in school, came with very bad behavior, obviously gotten by his parent, from his parents, and then they did something. Instead of you people to come out and say, these are the children that did this XYZ to this child, so that they can be held accountable, you are sweeping it under the carpet because of the school fees you are collecting. Now it's so annoying now that proprietors in schools school owners don't care anymore. All they care about is their school fees. So whenever something happens, they sweep it under the carpet because they don't want to lose a good face from other parents. Why? Put yourself in the shoes of this parent that have just lost a son. How will you feel if it was your son that was brutally murdered like this? This is murder. This is not just, I don't even know how to begin to react to this thing, because I'm so pissed. I'm pissed with the school. I'm pissed with the parents that picked this child up and didn't take him to the hospital immediately. I'm pissed with the school, most especially that didn't take this child to the school immediately this happened, because this would have been a different story entirely. And I'm pissed with the parent that trained those monsters that are in that school killing children. And this is not probably the first time this is happening. That's how a news broke up the other day, that a boy was trying to poison a little 11-year-old girl in this same Lekki area, one of those schools. Reason because the girl was taking first and he was the one taking the first before. And because maybe the parents are always shouting on him why he didn't take first. That's why I always tell people, don't compare your children to others. If your child bring a result home, rather than say, hey, you need to see the other person, he took first, why didn't you take first? Call the child, ask why he didn't take first. Find out the problem, try to help him. Give him more lesson teachers, focus and do assignments with them, so that next time he can take first. Don't make him feel bad. I never took first in school. I probably took second and third a couple of times, but I never took first, and I never failed either. And my mom Kuku didn't go to school, so she never even was able to read my results. She would just tell you, if you like, fail. If you like, go and take 0 and come and tell me you took first, and you go meet me for here. She mean a food that they cook, you can't join me when they cook the food for here. So we were forced to learn. We were forced to read without anybody. Now we can even assist our children, because most of us, even our parents, were illiterate. They have tried to make sure that we are not illiterate. What are you doing with your child? You are busy chasing money. You don't even look at your child's book. It takes second, or it takes whatever position. Instead of you to focus and spend more time with the child, you're bullying the child that he didn't take first. And the next thing, the child is reasoning, want to go and kill that one, so that the next time that person will not take first, so that he can take first and please him. We have, see, parenting in those days, these days parenting has gone haywire. Reason is because those days our parents didn't have to deal with technology. They told us what they needed to tell us, and that was it. They beat us when they needed to beat us. Now you have gadgets in the hands of these children, and these children know how to operate these gadgets more than us, the parents. What are we doing? Rather than focus and see what our children are watching on those sites, see what groups they are joining, and see whatever they are doing on WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, and all those things. The next thing, boom, we are off to work. We come back late, we go back again. Yes, it's good to look for money because we have to pay these bills. But looking for money and paying this bill and buying all these gadgets and forgetting what you're supposed to do as a parent, it's like it's like from Frank Pan to fire. You spend all this money on a child and you don't imbibe good morals. You don't imbibe good upbringing. You don't teach the child how to love. How would you then what is the need? What will be the gain? Now just look at the whole mess these children have created. And then I also heard that one of the parents have even flown one of them abroad. Now a child does something bad. Instead of you to wait for let him face the punishment, you fly him abroad. Now that child would not know exactly how bad what he has done. And then tomorrow he will do something. Maybe tomorrow he will carry a gun and kill somebody on the street. What will you do then? I think that rather than fly any child that has one inside this child that have done something wrong, you should allow the child to face the consequences. And then the school with their nonchalant attitude. I even saw that even though the Lagos State governor has banned the school for now, they are still taking online lessons. Why? Because they don't care. They don't have human feeling. And somebody was saying that, what about how can they close the school down because of one child? Humanity first. Where is our humanity, for Christ's sake? Why are we like this? And that's why we are training monsters. We only have hate in our hearts these days. Where is our humanity? It's always humanity first for me. So if the children miss one lesson or one exam this term, will you kill them? What about the child that is dead that can never come back? Have you ever even imagined what if it was your own child? Are you not thanking God it's not your child? And you are saying that they will miss exam. Miss exam, so what? And then the school has the effrontery to do online lessons for these children because they don't care. I even saw a video this morning. Let me play it for you guys. When the father was talking, come in, I'll just quickly do. Can you imagine? You can imagine. You can imagine.
Why did I send those pictures to the public? That the boy is a very handsome boy. Those pictures, anybody that sees those pictures will be scared of. Even ourselves was even scared of opening those pictures. I told her, Madam, I saw your press statement. You are not telling the people the truth. I sent that text when the boy died. I said, Madam, you have children. Please, I need thorough investigation. You too, you have children. I wanted to send text to the housemaster, Mr. May. He was the one taking care of my child. Then I carried my son to go pick up his bag from the school while he was passing through pain. The MS came outside. My child was waving him. And so I sent text to him. I said, Mate, you're a father of children. Please, thorough investigation is what I want. When the school is saying that it was as a result of football or it fell on the football pitch, I don't think that statement is true. Please, I want thorough investigation before he died. Those are the messages I sent to them. So when the woman told me, why did I send those pictures to the public? I told you, Madam, you issued a statement that my boy died as a result of football injury. I have to say, if football can cause damage somebody's mouth, damage somebody's body like this, to make somebody to be shouting all over his body, I think Nigeria should know that. Look at the situation the boy passed through when he was about to give up.
It's painful.
We do sympathize.
It's actually painful, and I feel his pain. Okay, I feel his pain. I feel his pain. The truth of the matter is that statement, I don't agree with it. With the video and the horrifying pictures I saw, there is no way football can do that to anybody. And the school should have just come out to say what happened, what they know, and then hold those children accountable for what they have done. Lying for those children is now making it look like the school have always known that they've been bullying in that school and nothing has happened. And the school, it's making it look like the school has always known that there's cultism in that school. I mean, when we thought that it's only university that there used to be cultism. Now there's cultism in secondary school. Are we even safe? Parents, pay more attention to your children. Look at what they're doing. Check on them. Find out what they're using the gadgets you give them for. Don't just go and be walking and walking and walking. You buy even the things that children don't need for them because you want to show love. Hey, buying all those things and spending all those money on children is not love. Oh. If you don't imbibe the right thing, and for those of you who will see people's children doing something wrong, and you say, no be my pikin. If I talk to her now, the mama fit come tell me, say, why I go shout. You don't have to beat somebody's child, but you can. There are many ways to correct a child without beating that child. Because here in Africa, really small thing you want to beat a child. It is not just about beating. There are some children that when you are beating them, say they enjoy it. They deliberately do things so that you beat them. It's not about beating. You correct a child because immediately you born pikin put for ground, our community get them. Everybody needs to put their hands on deck to train every child, because if you don't do that, if we don't do that, that your child that you're training so much will have problems with those people that refuse to train their children, or will be killed by those people that refuse to train their children. So we can't look away. We must do deliberate effort. Each time I go to pick my son from school, I tell him to call all his friends. They will gather around me. I'll be asking them different questions. We'll play together. They are very free around me. Reason is because I want to know, pick their head and know what they are thinking, so that I know if my son is even safe around this kind set of people. What are you doing? Do you even have time to spend 1 hour, 2 hours with your child? You're busy chasing money. Money will meet for here, will leave for here, go. Please, as parents, let's put our hands on deck. Let's know that this is the 21st century. It is not olden days parenting anymore. There's too many information in the hands of these children. These children are already on internet learning how to make bombs. We need to train them with love. And you, the man, beating your wife every day in the house, your son is learning. And tomorrow he will get married and be beating the woman because he thinks it's something good. And your daughter is also seeing you beating her mother every day. Tomorrow she will marry, the man will be beating her every day, and she won't do anything because she'll think it's one of those things. Let's understand that whatever we do, our children are learning and they are watching us. We are first role models to our children. For me, I called for justice strongly. Immediately this thing happened, I made a post because I couldn't make a video because I've been traumatized. I made a post about it, justice for Sylvester. If that school has to go under for other schools to learn, so be it. One person must be scapegoat. This has been happening in so many schools, and it's time to say no to it. So in fact, what the Lagos State governor has done is fantastic. And you should not, because of what they are tagging on social media, undo it. Until justice is served, that school should not be open. Let your parents complaining about exam. Take your children to another school. Is there no other schools? These are all the nonsense that we do that is making all these people do whatever they think, and they think they'll get away with it. And for all of you raising monsters as children, you should wake up. Now is the time. Because it can be you tomorrow. How will you feel if it was your child that died? A 12-year-old boy, a few days before he turned 12, just died like that. And we think it's okay. Where is our humanity? Please, let's preach more love and let's stop spreading hate. This world is already too hot in hate already. We should train children. They are the leaders of tomorrow. Let's not raise monsters. It's not right. Find time. Spend time with your children. Find out what they're doing. Please.